Hello, 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 hello. If you've never seen me before, I'm Coin Ring Maker from coinringmaker.com, and in this live I'm just going to be playing with some copper pennies. I want to try a couple things with these. I don't use copper pennies very much, so I'm going to be trying some new stuff today. If I can get them out of here, we're going to grab like 3 or 4 and punch some holes in them. A couple different size holes. Make sure these are all copper. Yep. And we'll try and make some hearts or rings out of them or something. We'll start with the smallest punch, 5/16. It's pretty tiny. Probably not going to get much out of this one, but it's worth experimenting. If anybody has any questions while I work, feel free to put them in the chat. And if you'd like to check out some of my finished work or my shop, you can tap the gold chain at the bottom of the screen. This one is a pretty tiny hole, so if we do get this to fold at all, it's got a pretty high chance of splitting, but it will have the whole date on there, which would be pretty cool. Not sure how big I'll be able to get that. I'll go ahead and step up to the next size. This is the one I think most commonly used on pennies. This is a 3/8 inch punch. There we go. A little bit bigger of a punch. Here the date is still pretty clear, but it did clip a little bit of it. I'm also interested to see how this 7/16 comes out. I haven't used a punch this big on a penny yet. Again, y'all can tap the gold chain at the bottom of the screen. It's got some interesting links there, some of my more popular items, my YouTube channel, stuff like that. If anyone has any questions, put them in the chat. If you're enjoying this live, make sure to tap the screen. And thanks for watching. Hit the follow button too, that's always good. There are our varying size holes. Now if you look on the inside, you can see it's a little rough and sharp. I'm going to take a deburring tool, clean that up real quick. Now's a good time to tap that gold chain if you haven't yet. This is kind of the slow boring part. There we go. stuff. Much better. Do the last one. Very nice. Now we're going to anneal these real quick. Maybe. Nice. Tap the gold chain down here if you haven't yet. That's got all my links, my shop, my YouTube, stuff like that. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. If you're enjoying the live, make sure to tap the screen. Hit the follow button if you want to. Now we're going to start folding these with this baddie. So the pennies fit in this little holder, just like that. And we're going to place a 12 millimeter ball bearing on top. And this pushes the ball through. Works pretty good. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, y'all can use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10% off your order at coinringmaker.com. If anybody wants to get anything, I make a lot of different types of coins into rings, and I'd be happy to make something for you. That does our initial fold. Go ahead and do it on these other two. a smaller one, I'm not sure if the ball will go all the way through, so I'm going to have to be a little careful. Looks like the ball went all the way through, and that folded pretty good, honestly. I like this size much better because it has the full date on it. The band is a little thicker. I think that's just too thin, but that's what I've done in the past. And then this one is even thinner than usual. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, I'll tap the screen. If you want to check out the shop, I make lots of different types of coins into rings. You can just tap the gold chain at the bottom of the screen down there. Well, this one definitely didn't fold very much at all. That ball just kind of popped right through it. But it's better than nothing. I'm going to set this tool aside and fold these a little bit more using this. This is a 17-degree cone, well, 17-degree die, and we'll be placing a cone in these to fold them all the rest of the way, like this. That one got a little wobbly. Again, I don't usually work with pennies, so this is kind of an experimentation live, just to see kind of what the limits are. But thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Do this last one. That one went a little wonky. So we'll squish those two down a little bit, kind of flatten them out. That's much better. I think the largest punch is actually going to make the easiest ring, because these other ones, the hole in them is quite a bit smaller. But we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and anneal these one more time, and then we'll try and stretch them without breaking them. That's usually where these mess up. They tend to break. Sorry, I turned my phone off. Pretty slick move, I know. Check, check, 1, 2, 3, can you hear me? Pull this up a little bit. Nice. Alright guys, tap the screen if you're enjoying the live. If you have any questions, let me know. So the point of failure on this next step is usually right here on this cut edge. If that's not like super smooth, if there's any scratches on that, they will expand as we stretch these out. So I usually use either fine steel wool or like these nail file blocks to really smooth those out. So that's what we're gonna do. And see how much shinier and smoother it is now. We'll just run through these other two real quick. Very nice. All right, let's stretch these out a bit. Go over to the ring stretcher, and I'm going to start with the biggest one, the biggest punched one. I think that's going to be the easiest to get to, like a reasonable size, which I think is like maybe an 8. If I could get it to an 8, I think that would be fair. What usually happens is once I get it past a 5 or so, there will be like weaker spots on the ring and those will stretch unevenly. So I'm going to try and avoid that. It's hard to see when that happens. So it's best to do like really small stretches. So far, I think that band looks pretty even. And we got it up to almost a 5.5, which is pretty respectable for a penny coin ring. I'm gonna go ahead and stop there with this one. We'll anneal it a little bit. We'll move up to the next size punch and see how this one does. Got a little waviness in it, but the band is pretty even. Yeah, tiny rings. And we got that one to about 4.5. We'll set that aside for annealing and go to the widest band or tiniest punch I can do for pennies. And it actually fits on the ring stretcher, which is solid. And if I had to pick, this would be the size band I would prefer as far as thickness. I think that looks the best. It is a little wavy, but it hasn't stretched unevenly yet. Doing good. Just playing with pennies, trying some different band thicknesses and seeing how they react. I don't I don't usually work on pennies, so doing some experimenting today. Go ahead and squash these flat real quick. Penny rings, maybe. So I think most people wear like size 8, size 9 rings, and it's really difficult to get these up that high. I'm not sure if there would be a market for these in size maybe 4 to 6. Yeah, I can do other coins, much larger than pennies, but that's been my holdup so far with them, is I just can't get them very big. But if you'd like a coin ring for, say, a size 11, size 8.5, I can do quarters or half dollars, those sizes, even dollars. Copper would turn your finger green. I do have 90% silver and fine silver rings on my website, if that's something you're worried about. But yeah, that would be one downside of having penny rings. All right, we're gonna anneal these one more time. Have a Morgan ring, size 14.5, one side. Isn't beveled out far enough. Can I fix that? Probably. If you email me at info@coinringmaker.com, like send me some pictures, I'll take a look at it and see if that's something I can do for you. It wouldn't be the first coin ring I've kind of fixed the shape of for somebody that I didn't make. To oxidize? I mean, you probably could. There's lots of things you can do with copper to get interesting colors and toning. Silver dollar ring, I have those at coinringmaker.com. See if I can get the website in the frame. It's right there. Just go to coin rings, 90% silver in dollars. There's quite a few to pick from. I've got, I actually made a Morgan dollar today. I've got Morgan dollars, peace dollars, some commemoratives as well. If I send you the Morgan, will it work? If you'd like to do a custom order, you need to either email me at info@coinringmaker.com or go to my TikTok profile. There's a button on there that says Get Quote. Just tap on that, tell me a bit about the coin you'd like me to work on, and I can get you a quote from there. If anybody else has any questions, let me know. But yeah, the Morgan dollars come out really nice. I'm a big fan of those. I do prefer to work on my own coins because I have a backup in case something goes wrong, but I am open to custom orders if you prefer me to work on your coin. But I do have a decent inventory to pick from. If you guys want to check that out, tap the gold chain at the bottom of the screen down here. Can y'all see that? Everybody tap on that. Go check it out. Go to the store, click around. Use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10% off your order. And we're going to smooth the cut edges again and then try and stretch these a bit more. Now, this is where it gets extra tricky because there's so much surface area on the inside of the ring that touches the stretcher, and that's when they tend to split or stretch unevenly. So before they were more cone shaped, so there was less of the ring actually touching the stretcher. When you have more of it touching, there's more like surface tension, and they're more likely to split. So you gotta be really careful. nice and shiny. Head back over to the ring stretcher. Start with the big one. And this was at pretty close to 5.5. Goal for it, like 7 would be nice. I think 8 would be ideal. But I'd really just like it to be a nice looking ring without, like, I don't know what you would call it, a stretch mark. Just where the band stretches unevenly. So far it's looking pretty good. Hey, I'm glad you like it. Check out coinringmaker.com. Lots of cool stuff there. Got it just past a 6. Which is pretty good. I mean, 6 isn't bad. A lot of women wear size 6 rings. You want everything. That's what's up. Let's get it to a 7. I'm glad you like it. If anybody else hasn't checked out the website yet, go take a look. Take our word for it. Tap the gold chain at the bottom of the screen. Check out the shop. Almost there. So that should be about a 7. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not upset about that. I've never made one this thin before, but it doesn't look bad. And you can still tell it's a penny, right? Still fix the shape of it a bit. Do I do custom orders? Yes. I have a button on my TikTok profile. If you head over there, it says Get Quote. Just tap on that. It's going to ask a couple questions, and I can get back to you about doing a custom order. That's the easiest way to do it. So if you're having trouble finding that button, let me know. It should be just under where my website is on my TikTok profile. Yeah, just past a 6. Okay, you see right behind his shirt right here? That's where it's starting to stretch unevenly. You can see it's got a little dip. So already I can see it doing it right there with trust. That's just one thing I really haven't figured out how to avoid yet. I want to get this one to at least a 7. These are just really delicate bands to work on. So happy I found this site. What if you heat it? I have annealed them a couple times already. Yeah, my dogs they're play fighting by the door. It's the best. They literally throw each other into my back door. Just playing around. Hey, got it past a size 8. Not the worst looking band, but it is a little wavy. Alright, let's try this last one. Super chonk. See what we can do with it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Usually I'm making cooler stuff than this, but I'm all out of orders today, so we're playing with pennies. Oh, we got it past a 5, and the band looks pretty even. It's not bad. I suggest putting clear fingernail polish on copper coin rings, just because that's like the easiest and cheapest solution most people can get their hands on. Some clear fingernail polish, and it works pretty well. There are some like specialty items you can get that are specifically for that. There's something called Protected Clear, but it's basically clear fingernail polish, but it costs like 6 times as much. So I just recommend clear fingernail polish. It works pretty good. If you're really worried about green finger, you can also just get like a 90% silver or a fine silver coin ring. I have quite a few options for those. I think they just make better jewelry. But if you don't mind copper, I do offer it. Got it a little past a 6. It is getting a little weird. Nothing like just right? I'm gonna go ahead and anneal this one more time. So I really want to try and get it to like a size 8, or close to a size 8. Hey man, give it a try. You've watched me do it enough, you can probably do it. Oh, that's so close. How's it going, man? How you been, Ron? I'm playing with pennies today. There we go just past 8. That's perfect. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. That is my biggest problem with pennies, is just this pinching that happens when you stretch them. They have like weak spots. You can see another one right there. I just haven't figured out how to prevent that or fix it. But they're less prevalent on these thinner bands than on the thicker one. I really wanted the thicker one to work, but I think the one I like the most is this really thin one. There's a little bit of dipping and odd stretching in the middle one, but the super thin one, straight all the way around. Trying to see how much you can press the bar. If I go any further than this, they'll probably snap, but the bar can go all the way back here. I usually just do boop, boop, boop. Oh, I have annealed these. I have heated them up and cooled them down at least 3 times during this process. But yeah, it still has that issue. So I'm gonna fix the shape of these a little bit, because they're still a little cone shaped. So I'm gonna fix that. It didn't do much. These are also really hard to resize because the band's so thin. They get to a point where you can't really reduce them in anything without putting something on top of the ring itself. Like this one. Yeah, we can fit it in here. How big can I stretch a penny? Like max size is like an 8 right now. And even then it looks pretty weird. I'm comfortable with like a 4 to 6 range with these. Not a very wide range. That's why I don't sell them. At least not yet. I want to figure them out a little bit more. Cut the edge a little bit on the die. That one's way too big for that die. It's not moving in this one, so I will probably have to call that there. Yeah, not bad. The wide one definitely went wavy. The middle one isn't terrible. This is how I used to do them. It's not bad. But I actually think the thinnest band is the best option. I'll actually be able to get this a bit bigger than the other two. Yeah. Well guys, thanks for watching my little experiment. If you haven't yet, make sure to check out coinringmaker.com and hit the follow button. Y'all have a great evening. We'll catch you next time. Peace.